Good evening and welcome to another scene in the Deaths of the Dark Crusade. And tonight we have Lady Madeline re-entering the city after a fun getaway, excursion, an attempt of doing something that, hasn't worked. She's moving with purpose. Exactly how strong the pull is I honestly don't know, but she seems to know where she's going, and she seems to be working with purpose. But yeah, she is definitely moving in. She's, I'm assuming, left in by the city guards as usual. They probably know her. And she will enter, and she will begin to head to the merchants district, I'm thinking.
One moment as I estimate just how powerful this pull is. It is... Oh. Not very strong at all, to be honest.
Yeah, but she's still moving. She knows. Since it didn't work, she is heading there because, this thing that she's has under one of her arms, this needs to be somewhere else, not on her, not for the moment. And yeah, is it towards the merchants district? The pull?
No.
Fair enough.
It is towards the Prophet's Quarter.
All right. Yeah, she's moving.
As you head towards the Prophet's Quarter, nothing seems particularly awry. People are going about their business. There's a healthy city watch presence. There's also some shady figures hanging around.
Obviously.
But engaging in their illicit business, of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, the Prophet's Quarter seems fairly normal. You make your way down a few roads, a few pathways. And you make your way to a condemned house on the edge of Riverside, or on the edge of a Prophet's Quarter, very close to Riverside.
Are there any people outside?
No.
As usual. Well, she's going to enter. She's going to knock.
You knock, and as you do, you may realize you have knocked ever so slightly too hard as the door just kind of collapses off its broken hinges as you knock.
Oh, and then it happens. She's going to enter.
It makes a rather unceremonious crashing and splintering sound as it hits the floor.
Well,
the pull is... You can generally tell when you're close to being summoned as the sense of...
Release?
The sense of release kind of, yeah, you feel like you're very close to release. It's sort of like a growing tension in your chest.
She will just call out, "Hello."
So do you kind of begin to wander towards the wander towards the stairway?
Mm-hmm.
We begin to walk up.
Yeah.
You walk up. You feel your sense of release as you reach the center of the upstairs room. It's actually, you walk upstairs and it's just a room. It's just seemingly looks like it was formerly a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
I said bedroom, there is no bed. It's really just, you know, a mat and a blanket and a pillow. Or a makeshift pillow.
Madeline's just standing there, clutching the thing under her arm, looking around.
As you look around, there is a hand pushes down on your right shoulder, and a blade appears around your throat. I haven't been answering my calls.
Madeline will just stand there for a moment, and then she will probably say, she will actually say, "Demon, at least if you have any sort of decency, show yourself in your real form. Do not take anyone else's voice. If you mean to kill me, kill me."
He the grip on your shoulder becomes crushing, and I mean literally crushing. Even with your fairly advanced degree of potence.
Yeah, this is worse. This is much worse.
This is significantly worse. This is probably the greatest amount of strength that you've ever had applied to you. Mm-hmm. Like, it actually makes you feel somewhat human.
Mm-hmm.
In your powerlessness.
I will not scream, but there will probably be some sort of sound.
What are you doing with that tablet?
She puts it down. Wow, she's at her knees, I'm guessing. So
she is. She's pushed down to her knees.
Yeah, so she
no damage is done. But
what?
you it very much you're very much forced to your knees.
She puts it down. It is you. Well, I tried to. I was a fool. I tried to destroy it, even though I suppose it is impossible. And then I did my plan. Traveled far away and burrowed into the ground, as I have learned to do. With it, going into torpor, myself and it, a long way away from here. It was my plan, but
What do you think we've been attempting to do for decades?
fight him. Fight them. I just thought that we could buy ourselves time if I buried myself with it. The only person who would know would be me. I mean, they would not be able to find me, and if one of these is missing, I believe that, well, no one can do anything with it. And if they could not do anything with it, we would have, at least for a time, a chance. It would be more time that I would sleep, but where the city would be safe. This is her, just in general, keeping up appearances, subterfuge, manipulation, subterfuge role. That was my plan. But it did not work. They found me. A couple of days ago, ghouls disrupted me in my sleep. And these were powerful ghouls. Powerful. I managed to kill them. Managed to defend myself. But I was being tracked, and I understood by then that my plan was folly. So I came here, but I took a few ways around to make certain that following me was as difficult as possible. It is no excuse, but that is what happened. I cannot protect it. I cannot keep it safe. That much is clear by now. But I must confess I am quite afraid. Because if you have tried for decades to destroy it and have not succeeded, then is it possible that we cannot destroy it?
That remains to be seen. We have plenty of time.
How do you know? How do you know we have plenty of time? All of the sites are there. It is coming.
If it was, the Markavians would have thrown a hissy fit again, and that certainly hasn't happened over the last year or so.
Will
You
you
can
keep
make
it?
whatever suppositions you want. But the moment they get in my way, you'll find yourself a target. Not of Mary, but of me.
Then let me get out of your way. She points to it as it lies on the floor. Take it. Protect it. Do what I could not do. I am clearly not powerful or skilled enough. My plan failed. Perhaps it is my hubris. Likely my hubris. But I have tried and I have failed. Take it. But would it not be perhaps safer with Ulrich? Or I, I, I apologize. It is your decision, not mine.
You see a small mass of tendrils reach out from behind you, and they pick up the tablet. Do you observe them? Do you kind of look as they go back, or because you currently still have a very heavy hand on your shoulder and a blade to your throat?
She doesn't move.
Okay.
She just waits.
The tablet is picked up by these tendrils, and then they slowly retract behind you towards the seneschal once more. Or at least you assume towards the seneschal. So you can't actually see him. You can kind of see his hand on your shoulder in your sort of peripheral vision.
Mm-hmm.
And also his general, like the color of his clothing fits his general known attire. And his blade as well. I mean, far too familiar to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what happened.
At Ebla, we arrived. She will state the amount of days they traveled. I think it was 4. It was some time. She will state how long it took, and then she will say, "We prepared certain things. I made sure that Irene and Celadrin would be not safe because I could not guarantee it, but we took off. Celadrin cloaked us. or used his obfuscation to hide us. When we arrived, it was a ruin, nothing more than a ruin. We got into the city, but things were amiss. Saladrin made a blood offering to spirits he believed there, wanted to ask of something that was there. Small fire in the middle of, well, the ruin. Do not know if it was this or it was just the place and Mary herself. But buildings began to materialize, or they began to appear. Buildings appeared, and two shadowy figures among all the others, different from all the other people we could see. All the people that used to live in that place. But one of them was her in some way, I do not know how. But it was clear that she was looking at Irene. We walked to the palace, where the figure again looked at Irene. We were very close to her.
He waits for you to continue. Oh, hello? Oh, we have a disconnect.
That was fucking annoying. Where did I cut off?
Crap, I'm trying to remember right now. I've blanked. Shit. Go back about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. She said something about, or she was to the fact that they saw the temple. And we went up into the temple. The figure followed us, or at least followed Irene, continuously talked to her. It pointed at the tablet, almost as if it did not care, or it wanted to pick it up, or wanted us to take it. I honestly do not know. I trashed or destroyed the rock enough so that I could pick up the stone and the tablet upon it, so I would not have to touch it directly. Soladrim realized or knew by the way that Irene was talking and the way I spoke to Irene that she should not talk with whatever was there, that she was listening or seeing us. Thereby, Soladrim began to insult her. With that, well, she did something to him, burned him horribly. He was very nearly in torpor, I believe. He was close. He was barely able to move. I picked him up, handed the tablets, or the stone with the tablet on. Irene tried to give us time, but an altercation, some sort of discussion was between Irene and Mary. And, well, At some point, Irene came walking and she was free to go. We then went to the carts and I administered some healing potions from that I acquired from a minor boon from the Tremere. It helped Saladrim recover a little bit. And then, after 2 days, I instructed my ghouls for my carriage to separate from the two others, for the two to return to the city, and then I went away. We drove for quite some time, and then I sent my ghouls away, so that was alone. And when I was alone, I tried to do what I already said. I to destroy it with what I had, and after that I tried sleeping, torpor, but it did not work. My resting was disturbed by 3 ghouls, very powerful. And then, well, I knew that this would be the only place it would be safe. So I answered your summons.
He remains perfectly still for a good few seconds. Almost here, the moments tick by. Before he simply says, your story lines up with the rest.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Your story lines up with the rest of them.
Your storyline is as of the rest
No,
of
your story lines up with the rest of them.
Ah, okay, fair enough. I was just
And
like,
he
storyline?
then...
What? Sorry.
you get pressured to the ground even further, so that your head is basically kind of in a bent over kneeling position. So he just says, but you will not ignore my summons or subvert me on matters of this severity again.
I understand.
Good, because any falsehood would have spelled your death.
I know.
Good. Then perhaps you may survive yet another year.
Thank you.
He releases you. What do you do?
Madeline just sits down, and just, she just touches her, well, I'm guessing fractured shoulder at this point.
Yeah.
And she just puts a hand on it for a moment. And she will do what she does. And it's quite clear she grabs it and just pulls at it, so it hurts her even more. Just sits there for a moment, grabs at it. and releases it. Nods a bit. Is the seneschal still there?
No, when you go, as you're doing this, and you kind of get a better look at the room, it seems after he released you, he has simply vanished.
Well, with an uneasy pace, she gets up and will simply begin to head home.
Well, with that, I think we can end our scene. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time.
Good night.